For my discussion, I have chosen to talk about the sites of Lexington and Concord. Lexington and Concord are both historical sites that kind of start out the revolution, and they're very pivotal for the revolutionary movement. It's kind of the initial meeting place of the British and the American troops in the Revolutionary era. The British, on April 19th, 1775, marched from Boston to Lexington, where they were met by the Minutemen, or the militia, who were warned of this attack. And this is where we get the term "shot heard round the world," which truly started this new nation, and the determination of the Minutemen were said to begin this new nation, which is where we get that term "shot heard round the world." After Lexington, the British continued to Concord, where they were met by fierce militia who refused to back down. Being someone who has been to both Lexington and Concord, I can say that it is a very important experience for people learning about the American Revolution to visit, to really understand how real this was and how it really founded our new nation. The Massachusetts Historical Society says this was a bloody eruption where 8 militiamen were killed and many others were wounded. Since then, both of these sites are now historical sites that are upkept by the Massachusetts Historical Society. In an excerpt of Paul Revere's Ride by David Hackett Fisher's book, he explains that these battles were not isolated events, but they were just patterns leading up to the Revolutionary War of British rule, and like I had mentioned before, really mark the beginning of this revolution and the beginning of our nation as a whole. Visiting these sites today can really help students engage in the content and material, and also allow them to become more interested in it. I know when I visited these places, it really sparked more interest. There's really nothing like going to these places and seeing what happened, especially with very knowledgeable guides. It can help continue to spread the legacy that these patriots were fighting for within the American Revolution. Another scholar, John Furling, says that though these battles weren't military triumphs, they aren't militarily significant, but they were significant because they brought together many groups of the American people and roused them for war. It began this spirit of the American people that they wanted to fight, and they wanted to fight in a unified front. And visiting these sites can really bring that tone across to students in today's America. Overall, I believe that these sites are so historically significant, and these are 2 of the sites that began the war. So if anyone were to visit any revolutionary site, these are a great place to start. It can rouse the current American youth to be more interested in history and engage in the material more. And overall, I think that Lexington and Concord are 2 great places to begin with when visiting historical sites.